is known for its innovative activities in and around the area, and it is due to the strong academic leadership of the chief organizer, Honorable Principal Dr. M. Bedkar sir. At the outset of this international e-conference, I welcome you, sir, as the presiding authority of this international e-conference. Today's international e-conference is organized by Department of Commerce, Shri Kumarswami College, Ausa, and the topic of the international e-conference is innovative strategies for e-commerce. Actually, today's international e-conference is part second of the international e-conference, which was organized on 22nd of December, in which the chief guest, Honorable Christina Segato ma'am from San Francisco, USA, had delivered a lecture, and today we have the chief guest, and I am feeling happiness to welcome today's chief guest and keynote speaker, Honorable Jessica ma'am from Johnstone, Perth, Western Australia. Today I am feeling honor to welcome today's session chair, Dr. Shalu Mahajan ma'am from University of Delhi. In the first part, we had been graced by the chief guests of the session, Dr. Sambhaji Jadhav from Chakur, Dr. Pawar and Dr. Ghadge sir from Shivaji College, Renapur. I also welcome the organizing committee of this international e-conference, convener Dr. Wagmare sir from Department of Commerce, Dr. Kiran Chaudhary sir, co-convener, invited member of this international e-conference, Dr. Swami R.G. Suryavanshi Kapil Kumar and Dr. Puche sir. Now after this, I would like to invite Honorable Principal and Chief Organizer of this international e-conference for his welcome remarks. Please, sir.
Thank you, Prakash sir. And today's international event organized by our Commerce Department. I welcome all of you, the organizing team committee of our college. We are just waiting for the resource person. I think she is having some technical difficulty with her. So before that, today we have decided to schedule her speech, and we are joined here. And Prakash Karad said detailed about the first part of this international event. We are celebrating here the second part, and for this new session, including keynote speaker Jessica Madam, we have invited session chair Dr. Shalu Mahajan Madam, Pratibha Vikram Madam, and also Dr. Radhika Madam. As a presenter, we have invited Jaya Madam, and all the participants, those who are joined here, including Dr. Swanand Shukla sir, Kapil Suryavanshi sir, Dr. Wagmare sir, Dr. Kiran Chaudhary sir, and all. So before joining our resource person having any difficulty, just we are waiting for her, and all of us are waiting for the commencement of this conference. So first of all, we request our today's session chair Shalu Mahajan, please you continue. After that Pratibha Ikram madam or Dr. Radhika Wadera madam will give wishes to the conference and then presenters, and if joined she, then we will continue, otherwise we will with all of you. Thank you madam, thank you and welcome from my college to all of you. Prakash Karad sir.
Yes, sir. Today, the college has organized an international e-conference on commerce. The topic is innovative strategies for e-commerce. Today's chief guest is Honorable Jessica Ma'am from West Australia. But because of some technical problem, there may be some time for her to join the international e-conference. So, on behalf of the organizing committee of the International E-Conference, I would like to invite Honorable Dr. Shalu Mahajan Ma'am from University of Delhi, and we are eager to listen her valuable thoughts on the topic and about the International E-Conference. So please, ma'am, welcome.
Thank you, Professor Prakash, for inviting me for this international commerce conference on innovative strategies for e-commerce. Um, um, Principal Sir, Ms. Dr. Bedkar, how many speakers we have? I mean, how you have sliced the time basically for this?
Means you, Radhika madam and Pratibha madam will talk 5 to
Huh.
6 minutes each one, and then presenters.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Okay. So, um, I think I would just invite first Dr. Radhika,
Yes, yes,
ma'am.
yes, yes, yes.
She'll start with it and we'll take further. I'll invite the other speakers also in the meantime,
Okay,
and uh, and that's how we'll take this conference further.
okay, okay. Welcome,
Over
ma'am.
to you, Dr. Radhika.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. So it's a privilege again, Bedkar sir and Prasad Kanade sir for welcoming us again. I think that we don't need introduction. We have been there. So I'll just introduce myself. I am Professor Dr. Radhika Vadera. I am teaching in Mumbai of an affiliated college, that is Rajiv Gandhi College of Management Studies. It is affiliated to Mumbai University, and not only a professor, I'm also a IQAC coordinator. So last year we completed our NAC with A grade. This year we are going for MBA. Again, a lot of quality things that are going on, and I'm so happy that faculty interaction with outside world becomes so important. And you people have given us that opportunity to talk outside the college too, so understand what is happening not on a national level but also on a global level. So not wasting even a single moment, I would like to dive into the topic. It is extremely interesting. The topic talks about innovative strategies for e-commerce. So when we talk about e-commerce 20 years before or 10 years before, the things were pretty different. What we could see that if we had to bring, if in the morning we see that there are no breads and egg in the morning at home, so kids used to run to the store to get them using their bicycle. This was the time. But as the things have revolutionized, we can see that we have this app called Zepto, we have this app called Blinkit, wherein in just a second, in just a blink, the things are there at our place. We can track the rider, we can see whether the rider has moved to our lift or not. So this was a very small example, but let me talk to you about it in a big pace. Now, in today's rapidly evolving digital landscape, e-commerce, it has become a driving force for anybody, wherein both the couples are working, they go to work in the morning, they come in the evening. It becomes extremely difficult to take care of the demands of of in-laws, of your kids, of managing household. So again, e-commerce, it comes as a rescue, where we can see that consumers are increasingly turning towards online shopping for their everyday needs. So it has a big scope as far as everything is concerned. Again, we cannot thank COVID enough for all that what happened. We could see that we were not comfortable talking to the doctors online because we wanted their personal touch when they used to check whether we have fever with their hand or not. That was the time that we were living in. But again, things changed, and Practo is the most used app these days, wherein people are having surgeries. Again, we cannot discount artificial intelligence and machine learning, which are revolutionizing the e-commerce industry with AI powered chatbots, personalized product recommendations, virtual shopping. Last day I was wanting to go for hair color, and then somebody suggested me that there is a brand called L'Oreal Innova. You can just open the camera, you can select colors. If you are using burgundy, then this will be how you will be looking. If you are using blonde, this will be how you will be looking. So in a fraction of 15 seconds I could decide that which color was going best on my face, and it was ordered online. Now, when I talk about artificial intelligence and machine learning, there is one more important thing that is making rounds in engineering industry, in our science, that is augmented reality and virtual reality. Now, I will be telling you from the eyes of the reviewer of a Scopus journal, that is Journal of Retailing. So the papers that I used to review, they were more about consumer buying process, their decision making process. But the topics that I have been reviewing from past 8 months, they are relating to the consumer, if the marketer is selling something wherein virtual reality is being shown, wherein a family can see themselves sitting on a chair or how the chair will look in their living room. So, how the sales increase when marketers are using things like augmented reality and virtual reality in their advertisements. So, two lines about it: augmented reality and virtual reality, they are transforming the way consumers shop online. These immersive technologies, they allow consumers to visualize a product in a realistic and an interactive way, bridging the gap between the online and offline shopping experience. So we must like, there was a case wherein our teacher used to tell कि किशोर बयानी जी को किसी ने बोला कि अगर हमें राइस लेना है ऑनलाइन, तो हम राइस ऑनलाइन कैसे लेंगे? हमें आदत है कि हम राइस के बोरे में वी डिप आवर हैंड, वी टेक आउट अ मुट्ठी फुल ऑफ राइस, देन वी स्मेल इट, एंड देन वी गो फॉर अ buying process. But again, there was a contrary argument to this, wherein a biryani was shown in a 3D effect, and it was same as it is near your eyes. So what we could see here, that AR and VR, they enabled the virtual try-ons, 360-degree product reviews, virtual showrooms, giving customer a better understanding of a product. Not only this, if we talk about international IVs that couldn't happen during the time of COVID, we could see that there were many forts that were opened by AICTE, and virtual industrial tour and virtual cultural tour was given to the students, where students were sitting on their laptop in the comfort zone of their homes. But again, they were too happy listening, going into the bylanes of the fort, thinking as if they are there, and the guide was properly explaining when this photo was taken, why this sword is kept here. So these are the things that have been ever changing, and if we are not going to adapt to it, our survival will be pretty difficult. Now, voice commerce is also something that machine learning was the first thing, augmented reality was second. Now we come up to voice commerce. Now we can see Amazon's Alexa, we can see Apple's Siri, we can see Google Assistant. They have paved the way for voice commerce. You are driving, you don't have to type something. You just say, "Hey Siri, can you please connect me to this? Can you find this product on Amazon?" Now, voice activated devices, they have enabled the customers to shop hands free, making purchases by simply speaking commands. This convenience factor is driving the adoption of voice commerce, with more and more consumers embracing voice assistants. It has been really cool in this current era. If we talk about mobile e-commerce, we can again see there is a widespread of apps on in the use of our hands, smartphones, tablets. Consumer can shop anytime. If they cannot sleep at 3, if they cannot sleep in the afternoon at 3, again there is business optimization available. There is seamless and user friendly shopping experience. Mobile responsive websites are available. Again, we can also see in social commerce, a few months back I was trying to see how many icon points I have in my Mintra. Now what they told me that I have some 5,000 points, and I could convert those 5,000 points into 500 rupees, or I could appoint a personal assistant on Mintra who will help me to choose my clothes depending on how I look, where I work, what I like, depending on my past purchases. So, again, social commerce is also playing a very big role here, where it was extremely difficult for people to afford their own personal assistants and things like them. They are making us a user, they are making these things user friendly, wherein a business can tap vast potential of social media and leverage user generated content. Again, personalization and customization, it is the impact that is happening. We are using machine learning, we are using AI, we are using social commerce, we are using virtual reality. And where is the impact happening? It is giving us personalized and customized products in the comfort zone of our home. Now, customization takes personalization to the next level, allowing customers to design and personalize products to their exact specifications. Now, these are the things that are really making a go in this, and I can talk and talk because this is one of the favorite topic. This is one of my favorite topic that has been into this era, where the students have also a lot to learn, and again the jobs that the students will be getting will be mostly in these sectors. That is why most of the engineers, they are getting to do their MBAs, so they can learn the technical things from engineering, and they can learn how to manage and how to do the research from the management schools. So again, congratulations for taking this topic. And if everybody is done, I can again start with discussing the pros and cons of it and how it is helping. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam.
I hope I haven't taken much time.
No, 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 you perfect. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am, for your informative and elaborate speech.
Thank you, Dr.
About
Radhika. Hello. Thank you, Dr. Radhika, and you have really pointed out in a very concise way regarding the innovative strategies, where you talked about the personalized and customized experiences, where the users can, even in today's world, you can, order a biryani. Some famous, I've just come to know that people are able to order this Hyderabad's famous paradise biryani sitting at in Delhi, and if you are buying some products online, and as you pointed out that COVID has really, you can say, embarked this journey of innovative strategies which have come up, and people are using Siri, and they are using Google alerts instead of typing. They are using these voice commerce also, which is evolving. The companies, the e-commerce platforms are also trying to, make this online shopping journey quite user friendly, and in a seamless way you are able to handle things, right from ordering, then your payment, uh, in a seamless way. You don't have to make much of an effort, and probably right from ordering till getting the product. And if you want to return this product, then companies are giving you this opportunity, where if you're not liking the product, or this faulty product, if at all it has been delivered, then then a pickup is pickup for that product is also there. Feedback is also very important, and they try to use chatbots. And as we are moving ahead, we are using cobots basically, to give a personalized experience. And one more important aspect is that customers are also worried about the privacy, and online threats are, these are few concerns, I suppose the consumers and the customers are also bothered about. I mean, this can pose challenge for these e-commerce platforms. So in a way, now companies have also you know trying to make these experience more user friendly, safe, and many protocols are now being followed. Your data security and everything is password protected. And now everything, if a product is delivered now, they deliver and they ask for an OTP, you know that if at all it is delivered to the right person. So probably these are few strategies or few things which are upcoming over years, and in this dynamic innovative era which we are entering into, a new era probably. So I would like to invite our next speaker, Dr. Bedkar. Could you assist me? Who's our next speaker?
Pratibha Vikram madam, we will invite her.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
So I'll invite Pratibha Vikram ma'am. So over to you,
Good
ma'am.
evening, ma'am.
And
Hi,
please
good
take
evening, ma'am.
this journey
Yes,
forward.
actually, I agree with both of you. And in this journey, where I feel is from where buyers and sellers moved to e-commerce, they were given a platform called e-commerce, and e-business and all began. There was a transformation of money also. When buyers and sellers meet, what they interact with is not just goods and services. They also started with money. When finance was transferred to technology, so when money was revolutionized to debit cards, and then to cashless e-businesses came into existence, that is what made the biggest platform to achieve what e-commerce has achieved today, according to me. Because if finance was not transformed, even if today cash was supposed to be used, let's suppose all these things never happened with technology for banks, then we were still at a place where people would come, cash on delivery would have happened. But today, because of this transformation of cashlessness, that is financial technology getting into the e-commerce, made the biggest revolution ever expected. And adding on to both of you what you said, like maybe you're ordering for a biryani, or maybe for a dress from Kashmir, I'm ordering sitting in one place. The ubiquitous nature, that is whenever, wherever you want to travel, and you want to get something from anywhere, anytime, was the platform e-commerce gave to the customers. The best part of everything was personalization. So if a customer wanted to say that there is something particular in which I want to tell you, I cannot see the seller, but I still want you to know that I am looking for something like this. That personalization was also added by this e-commerce. Sometimes when people are hesitant, they are more broad and free to express it, writing as a expression of what I want. So that platform was also given through a free based communication of please add on with any advantage what you want when you are purchasing this. Whether you want a gift pack to be added, or whether you want something else to be put on it, anything of your choice. So these type of personalizing your own things what you're ordering for gave it a bigger enhance for e-commerce. So today when I heard her saying that, ma'am, Radhika ma'am just informed about adding on with a personalized person to add what I want to buy. That what I want to buy is actually a data which they have collected by my previous purchases. So what I have collected in 3 years is a data for them. So based on that data, they have done a research and they can plan what I should buy in my future. So they are giving me a personal assistant to actually decide on what I want to buy tomorrow. So I see technology as well as the way buyers and sellers are looking at e-commerce in a very different prospect, where customer is thinking different now. Now the demand of customers has changed from where they were to where they can demand from what not. I can demand this, I can demand that, I can do I can also try this. So these type of ideas, the buyers have given them because they have tried reaching out to the edge. I think you can add your ideas, ma'am, now.
Thank you, Pratibha ma'am, for touching on this financial aspect to our discussion. One thing, if I take this further, is in 2015, the government has launched the Digital India Initiative, and the government is talking about zero balance accounts, financial inclusion, and so basically, what the government is concerned is that these people are digitally literate. They are able to, the ones who are, underserved probably gets this opportunity of being part of a formal financial system also. So yes, government has taken many initiatives, and if at all these e-commerce platforms, they want people a broad base basically, and now people are using multiple channels. They are using multiple devices also, and we all know that India is a young country, young nation, because 70% of the population is between the age group of I mean 22, I mean the one who are into the job sector, their active life basically. So they have been using these digital devices. They are more aware than their previous generations. So probably these e-commerce platforms, they are also wanting to reach out to the all the stakeholders, not just the young generation, but all other, and even not only the metro cities, but they are also catering to the remote and rural areas, the marginalized section also. So you can see you have a wide variety of products which are available, and even the payment, the ways in which you can pay for this. I mean, you have cash on delivery also. You have UPIs. You have, and India has come up in a big way post COVID. When I think it is topping the charts as far as UPI transactions are concerned. So all this together, yes, the finance, these platforms also have another problem. I mean, for a seamless experience, they have added this UPI, net banking, debit cards. A lot of options are given, and even cash on delivery is there as an option. It's available to the society, to the all the stakeholders. Then another important aspect is the cost. Ultimately, these we have many platforms, we have many e-commerce platforms with us, and even they are facing a lot of pressure. So even the cost part we cannot ignore, the operational cost, I mean to say. So this aspect also the companies are working upon. So who's our next speaker, Dr. Vedkar?
CJ.
So I now invite Srijaya, ma'am, if you could start with what you have to say.
She was on screen. Jaya Rehuna, madam.
Yes,
Jaya. Okay, Jaya, ma'am. Okay. So, ma'am, please your take on these things, or whatever. I mean, what you have prepared.
Okay, thank you for the invite, ma'am. So I wanted to bring a different dimension to the scenarios what it is going on here. So everyone were talking about the Q-commerce and other things. I wanted to bring in the area of sustainability and the vulnerability of the tribal people into the fold here. So I wanted to speak on the topic that Indian tribal products gaining, the international market through e-commerce industries. So we have seen many of the Indian tribal products now getting much amount of attraction in the international market, and especially we have this organization called TriFed, which is a Tribal Cooperative Marketing Development Cooperative Federation of India. They have created an e-commerce platform called as tribesindia.com. So as we know how this e-commerce industry is going on, like we have Amazon, Myntra, Snapdeal, and as well as Radhika ma'am gave the idea about Q-commerce, like Blinkit or Zepto for that matter. So all these organizations are coming together along with the Indian government to sell the tribal products not only in the Indian market but also in the abroad. So what would be the advantage of this? The first major advantage is that our vulnerable people, especially the economically vulnerable people, they get another livelihood options. If you take normally tribal people, especially in the remote villages, so their only source was earlier the gathering of food materials, and later on government introduced something called as minor forest produce. So we have minimum support price for agriculture produce. Similarly, for minor forest produce also, they bought in the minimum support price. But the problem is they did not have any other point of sources other than the natural skills what they have. They couldn't find any other source. But now the government is turning the tribal gatherers into an entrepreneurs. So earlier and all, when we talk about e-commerce or e-commerce entrepreneurs, it means a person who is living in a metro city or selling his products. But nowadays, if you see, even the tribal gatherers from the remotest places of India are becoming entrepreneurs, and they are selling their products through e-commerce websites. And especially, one major thing is in India, the demand is very less. But when you take the abroad market, the demand has become it has increased many fold, we can say. Especially countries like UK, UAE, and Singapore, they are actually demanding more amount of tribal products because of aesthetics and the ornamentative, appeal this tribal products used to have. And there was one survey which was released by TriFed a few months back. So it is stating that in the last 6 years, there were 10.5 lakh people, especially the tribal people, who gained employment only through this initiative. So that is one major advantage what we have nowadays. Not only that, the recent data what we have is with related to 2021-2022, where nearly 193 lakh rupees was generated only through the products which we are selling through e-commerce, especially the Tribes India platform. And 2 years back, especially during the time of COVID and all, government has joined hands with Amazon, Snapdeal, and Flipkart. And in fact, in the Paytm, and we have this government e-marketplace called GEM. It is government e-marketplace GEM. So in all these areas, the tribal products they got integrated with them. And if you go to Amazon, we have a separate section for Tribes India. So they are taking up products in the international market, and TriFed organization has set up, Atmanirbhar Bharat Kendras, especially it is called Vandan Kendras, which is located in the various countries, especially in 75 countries. We had created an exhibit of our tribal products. It includes lesser known countries also. For example, Iceland, which is a lesser known country which we have. Similarly, Jamaica or Greece or Cyprus. All these are not major trading partners of India, but still we started exhibiting our products in those countries to gain an international market over there. And it was a great success, we can say, and still it is going on. And not only that, if any tribal people wants to set up a business and they want to sell it through e-commerce industry, government is providing an 100% funding. Okay, especially if there is one Vandan Kendra, it is considered to be a cluster wherein 300 tribal members can join together to create a product, and government will give 15 lakhs for each Kendras. So this is one type of seed funding which the government is giving, and this is turning them into an entrepreneurs, and in turn it is bringing India to the international market. Especially when we consider these type of products, government also gives this tribal craft mark to them to distinguish themselves from the fake products which is being sold online. So we have seen many of the products which get marks, geographical indication marks nowadays. Especially we have this Mysore betel leaves, okay, which is mostly grown in the tribal areas. We have the Chanderi silk. So all these are the handicraft items which are done by generations of tribal people, but they are gaining importance nowadays. So I have certain suggestions here with respect to this particular activity. So it is going in international market very good, and for the past 6 years it is gaining attraction. Okay, that's okay. The thing is, we have the quick commerce. So quick commerce have something called as dark stores. Dark stores means it is located between 2 to 4 kilometers within the radius of delivery. So as ma'am told, if you just go and order something, within 5 or 10 minutes, you'll be able to get the delivery of those stores. So similar type of dark stores, okay, not within 5 or 10 minutes, but at least within half a day, we'll be able to deliver our products when we have such a dark stores in the abroad. Okay, with respect to, there are many Indian enterprises located in almost all the countries. We can go and make a tie-up with those Indian enterprises or the consulates or the embassies over there, so that we can sell the tribal products there. And one more thing is, India has a much varied geography. We have the hottest desert to the coldest region, everything. So all these particular geographical area has different tribes who has a unique culture, and this culture or this geographical area can be used as an advantage with the international market. For example, if you go for some island nations, or we can go and find out the people of Andaman, what they are using. We can use them in those island countries. We can market them in the island countries. So we can match the geographical location of Indian tribes and the other countries. That is one thing. And one more last thing is, we mostly use this tribal things as a decorative or ornamental item. So rather than that, we'll try to use it in a everyday alternative. Especially the world is talking about climate change and sustainability. I don't know how many of them knows this, but the Tirupati Balaji temple, they have banned the plastics, and instead they are actually allowing bamboo water bottles. So when we talk about bamboo, recently the G20 summit was held in New Delhi, and one tribal woman from Maharashtra's Tetwali village, I don't know, I'm sorry for the pronunciation, the village name is Tetwali or something. So from that village, she represented a group of 7 women to the G20 summit. She actually created, the bamboo products, the bamboo sky lanterns, bamboo phone holders, and all those plastic items which can be done. She has done through the bamboo items. So she is one of the harbingers of the tribal change, and she sold it through e-commerce, and she is also providing sustainability. So much of our tribal products are sustainable in nature, which is the need of the hour in the global market. So I think this tribal products can be used in a day-to-day life, even in India. Let's leave out international for 1 second. So even in India, let's say that we can use it in the integrate day-to-day life. Let's say you're conducting a meeting or something, you present a bouquet to the speaker. The bouquet costs around 500 to 700 rupees. But for same 500 to 700 rupees, we get an amazing tribal product, be it a painting or be it any decorative item. Through the Tribes India platform, you can buy that and you can present it to the speaker instead of a bouquet or any shawl. So that is one area where one small change what we can do. So this particular area will increase the forex, as we all know, the BOP balance and all, it will increase, and similarly it will put India in the global market, especially for the sustainable products. So that is one thing. Another thing is it increases the livelihood and the women empowerment of the tribal people. So that is the second thing. And that's it. So I just wanted to bring in the tribal initiative through e-commerce. India is doing well. I think it would increase more in the future days if there is more research, especially for the countrywide tribal products. Especially, let's say that we are taking one tribal group like Toda. So we'll see what type of products they are using, and these products, how it can be used. For example, they use some alternative medicines which can control diabetics or high blood pressure. So which country is having high blood pressure or diabetics? How we can integrate them into the everyday lifestyle? So like that, those researchers will help them further in the development process. Yes, that's it, sir. I just wanted to give an overview of how it can be implemented. Thank you.
Welcome, Jessica madam. Have you time to stay here, or we will just start few speeches? You will to stay here? Spot. Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Jess, and I'm from Perth, WA, so I have been invited to this conference to speak. I'm really not very well, so I apologise. I had problems the last time connecting, so if you have any questions, please unmute. I have no problems answering any questions as you go along the way, so I like to make them pretty fun and interactive so that you guys can talk along and join in and feel like you're a part of it as well. That e-commerce is a fast-moving fast-moving platform, and one that India is very much on the mark of at the moment, and one that I believe India needs to be heavily a part of at the moment. So Bollywood has a lot to offer. Binance has a lot to offer. Bitcoin has a lot to offer. Blockchains have a lot to offer. India is a massive integral part of that e-commerce platform and into that section. So I think it's really important that it's looked at really alternatively rather than looking at it with your everyday sort of understanding of how e-commerce comes into play and how e-commerce is sort of shaping the world and the different things. I love the last speaker share. It was right on the money. Everything that has been talked about with all of those global warming, all of the different things. We've just had COP28. It's really important. 2030 is looking really, really promising. And I think that India will be a very big player in shaping how that looks. India has a really rich, diverse culture that before was overlooked. And now I believe that in sustainability, in high numbers, in population, there's so many solutions that India can offer the rest of the world that we have overlooked. There's so much innovation that I'd like to believe that behind sort of Dubai for its thought process and innovative understanding, I'd like to think that, I would like to think that India is right there. So for me, I'm heavy on thinking that a lot of really promising tech, really promising banking, really promising creative, and really promising future forward solutions will come from India. So yeah, if you have any questions, please ask. I'm really sorry if my voice is not working very well. I'm not very well, but I'm fighting through it and it's fine. But Merry Christmas to all. I hope that you all had a really, really good Christmas. And yeah, it's really, really, really lovely to be invited up onto this platform.
Hello, good evening from India. This is Professor Ahmad from Hyderabad, India. It's lovely to listen to your few remarks about the prospects of commerce, not only in India, but at a global level. My question to you, ma'am, that how would you see the e-commerce prospects the next 2030, 2050, as far as India is concerned? Because India sees a potential market, and how world market will make use of the Indian conditions.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Pardon?
Could you repeat that? Sorry. There's a little bit of background noise.
India being a potential market for the e-commerce in the coming 2050, how do you react? How world see to the Indian markets?
If I run my numbers correctly and I understanding where I think blockchain and where I think a lot of the resources and where the marketing will move to, I'm confident 74% will be held at that.
Thank you, Badruddin Ahmed sir. We will hand over the mic towards our chairman, Dr. Shalu Mahajan madam. You can conclude and you can allow others to ask the questions. Okay.
Good evening from all of us in India, Miss Jessica, and wishing for your speedy recovery, first of all. I know you are struggling with your voice, but all said and done, before you joined, 3-4 speakers with us, apprised the audience, the attendees about, what are the innovative trends which are there, overall in this dynamic era. So one was Dr. Radhika talked about was personalization and customization, where these digital platforms are making use of even the augmented reality and virtual AR and VR techniques, wherein if you are ordering for some furniture, piece of furniture, and you can see if that fits in your room, or maybe if you are ordering for some product, so how it would look, I mean it would suit you or not. We are moving from chatbots for a personalized experience to cobots now, where they are catering to one's needs. Then that's basically paving the way for voice and visual commerce, basically. Then Jaya also pinpointed about sustainability and social responsibility as far as these e-commerce platforms are concerned, where she particularly mentioned about the tribals in India who are quite efficient, and they are good. Technique wise, they are very solid, and probably our prime minister, our honorable prime minister, is also you know eyeing on this Atmanirbhar Bharat and Viksit Bharat, and what he says that India will develop if there is development to the last mile. So they are coming up. They have come up with the Digital India initiative in 2015. They are talking about financial inclusion, and you as also have pinpointed about the usage of blockchain technology. So it enhances the security aspect also. So that's another innovative or another trend which is happening now. Like we all go initially, when we used to go offline, when we used to opt for offline shopping, then we used to go from one shop to another. Now you have different e-commerce platforms, variety of platforms. So if now the customers also compare, if they are ordering for a product, they'll check out on different websites also. So an integrated experience is also a need of the hour, because you are using multiple channels, multiple devices. So that's one aspect which needs to be touched on. Then the data security and privacy are another two important aspects of these platforms. And ultimately it is the customers, if there's lack of trust, so the customer won't come up with a repeat order. So customer trust and confidence building has to be there. There has to have some legal compliance also. These platforms should not, I mean, they need to be responsible enough to not leak the private data or private information about their customers. And Jaya also talked about sustainability and social responsibility, because the customers are increasingly getting aware of their choices, of what impact their shopping habits are going to have on the environment, and social impact, what exactly it's going to have, and they want to support these businesses also. So basically they can use some carbon offsetting, eco-friendly packaging, as she pinpointed. Some female from Maharashtra got appreciated for that. Then green shipping options can be availed, and also your reviews and customer reviews. Basically, whenever we order, they also, feedback is also important. And whenever I order for product, then probably I check out about the reviews from the customers. So that is important for the customer satisfaction. So probably these are few of the pointers which I want to say. And if the audience have any question, and probably to whom they want to address the
Dr.
question.
Swanand Shukla sir will ask the questions. Dr. Swanand Shukla sir.
Okay. Dr. Shukla, please
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Good evening, Dr. Bedkar, sir, Principal, sir, Jessica, ma'am. Good evening. And all the resource persons, wonderful presentation you have made and really explored the topic. And being a medical field person, it is very, some aspects are very new for me. So wonderfully explained, and I really appreciate, the rural population is also getting connected because of the e-commerce. That is also a wonderful thing. And they are also becoming global nowadays. Otherwise, they were restricted to their areas only. So that is also wonderful. So two questions are there. First question is for Jessica, ma'am. What you see, the future of e-commerce for like next 20 years, how it can get advanced and what kind of possibilities are there, it can get advanced. That is first question to Jessica, ma'am. And for Shalu, ma'am, my question is, being a very simple consumer, when I go to market, I ask for TV price, and when I try to search on e-commerce, various this, there is a lot of difference, So sometimes it doubts, should we ask for this online or should we go for, the real purchasing the television, because the person is there. If suppose something goes wrong, we can catch the person. So these are the basic questions, right? So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Jessica, madam, please unmute.
Hello, thank you for that question. Firstly, can I just thank Dr. Shala? Thank you. That was, I love to hear you speak. It was actually really, really, all of those points are really, really valid and so true, and things we must all address. Dr. Sawan, to answer your question, I think that the tech that it will bring will be unimaginable. We're already overrun here in Australia, and we're not even in, we're in a place, we're in a first world country where our medicine should be up to par, and it's not. It's lacking. The e-commerce platform that it will bring with all of this tech will bring clear and accurate data and features. And I know it seems like a shopping product, but if you look at it from a technical standpoint, it's not just the shopping product that it brings. It brings concise points of what it needs to order, what and where is the most efficient way of getting that, and it's solutional. So I think that I try to bring the side of it where you're not looking at it from the everyday point of it, of a shopping point of view. If we're looking at it from a medical point of view, I'd like to bring you the alternative, and I hope that you can appreciate that, is that it will bring you a concise overhaul of, if you're working in a hospital, if you're working in a doctor's practice, if you're working wherever it may be, you will have earned, a understanding of, you need 52 medical masks on a Tuesday, on XYZ day, and it will give you an overage and an average as well, because it will have all of the data based on what you're entering from the previous years. But all of this data being entered in from the previous years won't be the problem of the doctor. It won't be the problem of the admin. It will just be set up from the tech so that the doctors can be doctors, the nurses can be nurses, and the patients can be patients. And you're not having to run around. Hospitals are going to know that they need an average of this, this, and this. And there's going to be a direct point of call. So we're ultimately saving money. When you have concise and clear numbers and understanding, it's solutional, so money saved. So it's cost cutting as well. So when you cost cut, you can spend money where it's needed. And when money's being spent where it's needed, politicians, governments, they don't mind standing behind it because it's proven, because it's streamlining everything. So that's the first point I'd like to point out. The second point, when you say, should we buy it on an e-commerce platform, or should we buy it, from a TV sort of standpoint where we can see the person and we can, hold that person accountable or whatever. I think that you should buy from where you feel comfortable, where you trust. I don't think it's a preference. I think it's a hard choice, and I think it's which one makes more sense. I think that TV can be actors, and I think e-commerce can be actors, and I think internet can be actors, and an advert can be an actor. And I think that it needs to be where it feels the most real, and it needs to be where it's the most proven, and it needs to loop. So if all of your research does what it says, then it needs to be have continuity of another person. But I think that when you're buying and when you're purchasing something on an e-commerce level, I think e-commerce has a really wonderful way of including other people. And the world would be silly to think that we are going to solve climate problems, that we're going to solve shipping problems, we're going to solve malaria, we're going to solve, cancer, or we're going to solve anything like that. What we need to be understanding of is that if I look at something tribal, let's just say, we go down to that tribal route of, if I'm sitting in New Zealand and I'm sitting with, a great auntie or a nana or something like that, they're going to have a very holistic way of solving something. Does it work? Probably. Most of the time, yes. So I think that when we go with a platform that introduces e-commerce in a holistic way as well, by looking at it from that holistic understanding, is that we start introducing the ecosystem back to the world. And what does the ecosystem do? The ecosystem filters out all of the nonsense just naturally, and it's able to bring you a more diverse and inclusive understanding of where we're moving with the world. Do you want to move in a holistic way? Do you want to move in a pioneering way? Do you want to move in a solutional way? When we look at that from a holistical way, and we start being inclusive of the neighbouring countries, and we realise that Nigeria is lacking bringing water resources into the country, yet I know for a fact that India is cultivating some of the most clever water wells that there are. So I know now that India and Nigeria next to that now have an agricultural fence where now we can introduce grain. Now we can introduce things like that. Now we have a port. Now we have water. Now we have a reason for poverty-stricken countries, poverty-stricken that needs solutional problem solving, now are naturally being problem solved because of a need for agriculture. Now, is that selfish? Yes, it is. Should it happen without that problem? Yes, it should. It really should, and we all know that. But we won't do it, and no government will stand behind it if it doesn't start to make the money. Now, let's just solve some problems by saying, okay, we can place that there and fix a problem and fix a need, because for me, it's just like war. Children shouldn't die. Thirst shouldn't be a problem. So when you put an ecosystem where it needs to be placed and we can make it solutional at the same time, for me, I can go to bed knowing that I can sleep at night because it's resolutional. There's a resolve. It might not necessarily be the resolve the way that we want it to be, because we're not all Robin Hood heroes, are we? But there is a resolve, and there's water going there just by looking at it from an e-commerce type of situation. But that's my answer to you. So I hope that's answered your question. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thank you very much for a wonderful explanation. And really, what I feel that e-commerce can reduce the gap between the tribal and the urban areas and developed and developing countries. And definitely, yes, definitely the e-commerce is really accelerating the business also in all field, education, medical, and agriculture, everywhere. Thank you very much, ma'am. Please take care of your health. Thank you.
among the participants, please.
Any other question from any other attendee?
I have a question, Madam Jessica, Madam. Can I ask?
Yeah, please.
Yes. In your country, means at your you yourself, how percentage you purchase from E and what percentage from the market physically?
Pre-COVID, nothing. I was a hands-on shopper. After COVID, I am turning to Amazon, I'm turning to My Deal, I'm turning to 95% is e-commerce.
Thank you, thank you.
I have one question.
Pre-COVID, 120% was by feel.
Kapil Suryavanshi.
Good evening, ma'am. This is Kapil Suryavanshi. I have one question, sir. Which shopping, whenever as a customer, whenever they're purchasing the goods from e-commerce, which shopping is better as a consumer, online or offline?
Depending on the source, I believe that e-commerce is actually affecting the stores now that the stores are actually getting behind, standing with these, partnering. You know, if I may, I'll give you an example. Amazon has started partnering with shops. So although I was unable to get it in time from Amazon Direct Deliver, I was able to purchase in shop with Amazon. So solutionally, I get the better price with Amazon. So I buy with Amazon, but I do pick up from the store. I would say now it was also not giving me that. If I went directly to that store, it wasn't giving me that price, nor was it giving me the availability. With Amazon, it was. Now, Amazon's just a small example of that. But also, I'll point out a thing called, there's a DoorDash delivery, which is like Uber Eats, menu log. It's DoorDash. So DoorDash and Uber Eats, often, rather than me going straight to the store, I will check there because I'm going to get a 40% discount, a 30% discount. I actually have a problem. I like menu log and I like DoorDash. They're better for the customer, they're better for not only the customer, but they're better for the worker as well. The worker gets fairer deals, the pricing's better, they get a flat rate plus a commission, and I like that. There's also an availability. Uber Eats pays them peanuts. It's not that I have anything against Uber Eats at all. I don't. Just my preference is that everybody's full circle getting a really good deal, and I like to know that there's, that the person picking up my shopping is getting a really good price for that as well as me. So that it's fair right the way around. But if you're looking at it if you're looking at e-commerce from a standpoint like that, then I think that we would all reach for e-commerce first, because I can do my shopping at Coles, which is like Woolworths, and I can do my shopping for cheaper on DoorDash and have it delivered to my door than I can by buying blueberries for $7 a punnet in store versus $2 on DoorDash.
Radhika Mahajan.
Good evening, ma'am. Here actually it's late at night. I would like to congratulate you on giving such a nice deliberation on e-commerce. And I would like to have your opinion that isn't this e-commerce leading to, super binge buying by the consumer and overspending?
I had a really, that's a really good question, actually. I had a really good thought about this, actually, because somebody else actually asked me this, and I had to sit with it for about a week before I answered it. So that's a really good question, actually. One that I've given great thought to. when we have a budget, often we know what our budget is. And often we know when the event is, whether it be a shop, whether it be a present, whether it be what it is. E-commerce gives us the availability to overspend, absolutely. But it also gives us the platform to buy the same product for less. It also will give you similar buys, so it gives you an understanding of what we can get very similar often, far often more than not. I get a better product, less price because of e-commerce. I also find that there's many things that I can go on and I can get where it allows you to, I guess, stick to your budget but come out with more. Ultimately, consumer choice is going to be consumer choice, and I believe that if we overspend, it's natural that's probably we are overspenders anyway. So it's probably more habitual than it is.
I agree.
I think more habitual.
But ma'am, when you see it is such an easy buy, so if it's an easy buy, you tend to buy it.
Well, I think if it's an easy buy, it meets the criteria needed and it's the same products that you want, then I think that solutionally, if it's coming to your door, then that's even better. If it's a product that you're unable to, if it's even a present that you're unable to actually deliver yourself, you were going to send via post anyway. More often than not these days, they'll wrap it for you, put a postcard in, and they will actually deliver it straight to that person. So it's more direct, I guess, as well. But I think that if it comes to the bite, I think if you're an overspender, you're an overspender. That would be more habitual than anything else.
Thank you, ma'am.
I hope, Radhika, your query has been answered.
Yes, ma'am, very well handled, I would say, because overspending is a problem with the consumer.
Yeah, that's personal basically, and as ma'am has rightly pointed out, if you you would rely to some conspicuous consumption, or you are a compulsive buyer, then probably you are going to buy it in any case, as happens with the kids in the house.
Yes,
they just they select add items in the cart, and they really force the parents, compel them to pay for the product. And at times, many products are that's their marketing strategy, to create the need. Because as things are moving, as there has been societal changes in the society, where even in India you have double income parents, and the number of kids have reduced considerably, or maybe now the generation Z is opting for not having kids. So probably I'm realizing, there's one example which I always give in my class also. They have come up with, as people are also aware of their health, so they have come up with air fryer. So I was just wondering, if you want to have a samosa, then how does it matter, whether it is fried in a kadai or...
I would better not, I would better love to eat a good samosa than a air fried one.
Yeah, but it's always like, it is air fried, and it's checking on your calories, and then
healthy, and no oil,
so it's like that only.
Shabli madam, respected Shabli madam,
Yes,
Jessica
sir.
madam, will you have time or not for stay? So you conclude your speech, then afterwards we will discuss and take question answers and remaining presentation.
No, I think I've spoken a lot. I've spoken at length, and probably now we want to wind up, and we are answering the questions.
Yes.
There should be no question. It should always be fried.
Hello.
The motor should be
One
fried.
question. One question, madam.
हाँ
मैं क्वेश्चन हिंदी में बात करता हूँ। मैं हमारे वेटकर सर उसको मैडम को समझाए।
जी जी
चलेगा?
चलेगा।
हाँ, तो मेरा सवाल ये है कि कोविड के बाद ई कॉमर्स के अंदर बहुत सारा जो है सो जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटी आ गई है। तो बहुत सारे नौजवान ये अमेजोन फ्लिपकार्ट की वजह से उधर जॉब सर्चिंग कर रहे हैं। तो हमारे स्टूडेंट का कहना है कि यहाँ पे जॉब करने के लिए मिनिमम क्वालिफिकेशन हमको क्या एक्वायर करना पड़ेगा कि जिसकी वजह से ई कॉमर्स में हमको आसानी से जॉब मिल सकता है। उसका कोई ऐसा क्राइटेरिया है क्या कि इतना क्वालिफिकेशन करने के बाद आपको ई कॉमर्स में इस सेक्टर में आपको जॉब मिल सकता है? ये जानना चाहता हूँ मैं।
Shall we imagine, madam, you are chair, session chair, so you can
हाँ,
translate.
तो मुझे ऐसे लगता है सर कि अगर आप एक मिडिल लेवल तक अगर आप ऑप्ट कर रहे हैं,
You just translate towards Jessica, madam, and then you answer. She will try, I think.
so basically what he wants to ask is, a lot of job opportunities are created post COVID also, and with the upcoming various e-commerce platforms. So basically he wished to know that what is the basic qualification which is required, to get absorbed in these companies.
That's a really tough one, because where I've been trying to be absorbed is really different to what I think the normal e-commerce person wants to be absorbed. For me, I want to be absorbed where the knowledge is being brought and where it aligns people to know where they want to be. So for me, e-commerce is about the health, the education, the shopping, the experience, the consumer, the employee, the employer, the person, the shop itself. For me, my presence on e-commerce is very different to probably where a platform wants to be, but I feel like it's in line with where the shop or the person bringing their product wants to be as well. So I think I'm probably very different for a consumer's level of where they want to be absorbed, but I think for the people wanting to be absorbed, then my presence has been one that's been really, really, really hard and quite a tumultuous one, because many people are wanting to be a part of e-commerce. Many people are standing behind the work that I'm doing and saying, this is what I said and this is what I did. And for me, I used to get very upset about it. Now I just leave it with God, and I leave it with the universe and let the universe take care of it, because where we're meant to be is where we're meant to be. And I think that that's just how we will do it. From a qualification point of view, you don't need a qualification, because you can you could download GP Chat. In 5 minutes, you can have a Shopify store. In 10 minutes, you can have a full-fledged thing on Amazon and everything else. If you've got half an hour, you've got e-commerce. It is ridiculous. Where I think it becomes a problem is when it's ethically not lining up with reasons, where it's not doing any of the innovation that I think it is. What I do love about e-commerce is a lot of it's going to be problem solving, as I think that there will be a real need for moral conscience. And I think that this is where all the good people in the world will have their moment to shine, because the world moving this way does not work unless there is moral responsibility, moral, ethical, resources or ethical understanding. Unless there's that moral compass there, you will stand out like a sore thumb. And I think when you're on stage and when it's an e-commerce product, it wouldn't matter if you were selling toilet paper. Morally, if it was ethically wrong, you're not going to sell. So I think it highlights a broader understanding of where we're able to get a product that's ethical, resourced responsibly, is packaging well, is fitting the price that you want, versus 2 cents, 3 cents. That's the difference we're talking. We're talking 2 or 3 cents in some products to go ethical versus non-ethical. I know what product I'm going to stand with. And I think if we're shaving costs at the other end of doing things, people will start to make that choice of 2 or 3 cents because it's been highlighted. Their friends are going to start to see it. There's going to be, the bags of where they're shopping are going to start sitting at their front door. They're going to be highlighted in a way that we all need to be really proud of. And before we didn't have that issue, but I think that it's going to be like buying mustard seed oil, it's going to be like buying rice bran oil, it's going to be like buying something. Somebody's going to be buying it by the boatload, and you're going to be buying it for nothing. The shops are going to be buying it for nothing. Somebody's going to be buying it by, the drum. The person selling it by the boatload ultimately is going to have control of how that is. But it's who we give the control of the drum to, which will be the e-commerce. But the boatload's always going to be the boatload. So ethically and morally, it's just about where we place that.
मिस्टर बेटकर, आप सर को थोड़ा हिंदी में बता पाएंगे मैम ने जो कहा?
मैं बोलूँगा, वो हमारे गांव के मित्र है, मैं उनको बोलूँगा।
अच्छा जी। सर, अगर हम हिंदुस्तान की बात करें तो मुझे ऐसे लगता है कि आप किस लेवल पे नौकरी की तलाश कर रहे हैं, है ना? ये भी बहुत ज़रूरी है। अगर आप बहुत ही इनिशियल लेवल पे जैसे जाना चाह रहे हैं तो एक ग्रेजुएशन करा हुआ इंसान वो नौकरी पा सकता है। आप अगर मिडिल लेवल पे जाएंगे तो एक MBA करके कुछ मास्टर्स डिग्री लेकर भी आप नौकरी पा सकते हैं। बट जैसे जेसिका मैम ने कहा, उसको अगर मोटा मोटी मुझे आपको एक्सप्लेन करना पड़े तो यही बात आती है कि आप जो भी करें, जहां भी आप काम करें, वो मॉरल और एथिक्स, इस पे आपको तवज्जो देना होगा, क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली कस्टमर्स के लिए आप ये सब करेंगे, आप अपना सामान बेचेंगे या कुछ भी करेंगे तो कुछ स्किल्स तो चाहिए। ऑब्वियसली आपको कंप्यूटर का नॉलेज भी होना चाहिए, आपके पास डिग्री भी होना चाहिए, पर इसके साथ साथ आप एक अच्छे इंसान भी सबसे पहले होने चाहिए विद गुड मॉरल वैल्यूज एंड एथिक्स टू सस्टेन इन दिस सिस्टम।
जी।
तो यही मेरे हिसाब से एक कंक्लूजन है। और मैं समझती हूँ कि अब बहुत सी बातें इस विषय पे हो चुकी और बहुत क्वेश्चंस भी हमने।
Can I interrupt?
Yes, sure.
Do you know, you touched on the sustainability. I just want to bring a point to that.
Okay.
Sustainability in e-commerce is the only thing we should be looking at. Yeah. And I haven't mentioned that. But sustainability is the only thing. That's the only thing we should be looking at. The sustainability becomes generational. And that's how we take care of our kids. Mm-hmm. So when we look at sustainability, the rest of everything just falls in line. That becomes your agriculture. That becomes your education. That becomes your law. That becomes everything. Mm-hmm. Sustainability should be how we look at everything, regardless of what color, what culture, what religion, what anything is, because we do not work without sustainability. And we're not it, but our children are. And I would like my children, and I'm sure that, whether you decide to have children or don't decide to have children, I would like them to have a choice.
Yes.
And I think that the choice that they're making by not having children is one with people going, okay, we're going to kill the world if we had more. Mm. That is a freedom being taken, because there's no greater gift than our children. So we should want to be able to look after our children and give them the very best education, the very best upbringing, the very best choices. Now, for me, that doesn't work for me if the child in India, the child in Nigeria, the child in Africa, or the parent there does not have the freedom to be able to make those choices too. If I get to make those choices, then sustainability to me is those neighbouring of another have those same choices. That is sustainability.
Thank you, Miss Jessica. For the audience, let me just take you or navigate the journey of businesses, how it has happened, over the years. Um Most of us, when we gained independence, like in our country, after 200 years of, uh, we were under UK. So once we got our independence, so the main focus was, the development. And development means up GDP ka growth rate you were basically focusing on, and you were like, okay, if the GDP is going to grow, then probably everything would be taken care of. But unfortunately, such thing didn't happen. Then we encouraged private sectors to come into our mainstream, and what happened was uh, that the businesses were only focusing on profitability, and somewhere the social cause got a backseat. Hana? And then we talked of economic development, and then we got to human development, as Jessica ma'am pinpointed, because a country is economically developed if it has, there is persistent growth in the GDP, plus there is good hospitals, education, industry, service, they are well in place. But over the years, it was felt that businesses have to be more responsible. They have to cater to the corporate, they have their social responsibility also, and if they will avoid their corporate social responsibility, they are not going to be there in the business for long. Ultimately, you cannot be selfish, wherein to increase the profitability, you are cutting all the trees, and you feel it's okay. But then the environmentalist and many other stakeholders pinpointed to these things, and people talked about, social revolution also, wherein even the marginalized sections of the society were attended to, wherein, as she said, that the self-esteem needs and the self-actualization needs are also met within the society. And now we are also talking about the human development index also, and the countries are getting compared based on it, where everyone is, having choices. I mean, like as she said, having a child, not having a child, getting education, not getting it, getting it from the college which I want. It has to be my choice. It has to be, these opportunities have to be equally available to all. But then it was felt that if we'll use the resources of the country in an irresponsible way, where we are not interested in thinking about the environment, where we are not uh, really bothered that whatever we are going to leave for the future generations, if at all we are not responsible enough to listen, I mean, to address these issues, probably we are not going anywhere. So ESG, your environment, social and governance, basically, and their impact, whatever decisions an individual or a business or a government is taking, so what impact it is going to have on the environment, on the society in general. So basically, it has to be an inclusive society, it has to be sustainable, whatever model we are adopting, be it a business or from government side. And that's why the government in India is coming up with the concept of smart cities, wherein they are able to sustain, the city is able to sustain, and they are able to generate finance or funds for its own, create job opportunities, as Jaya also pinpointed that e-commerce platforms are paving way for entrepreneurs. And we are moving towards Atmanirbhar Bharat and Viksit Bharat. That's the theme of, or looking ahead of what, I mean, we perceive ourselves to be. So sustainability, yes, is an important aspect, and that is how we have evolved. And e-commerce in this journey has helped many countries. And as far as the education is concerned, yes, in India we need to have some formal education, but apart from it, the ethics and the moral values has to be there well in place. So I think it's over from my side.
Thank you,
And
madam. We will hand over this mic towards the vote of thanks on concluding. Chaudhary sir or Kapil Suryan sir, as you have decided, please.
Yes, sir. Kapil, sir.
thank you.
Yeah. Uh, Good evening to all. My name is Kapil Suryamshi. Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya Ausa, Latur, Maharashtra State, India, under the Department of Commerce, organizing International E-Conference on Innovative Strategy for E-Commerce. At the end of this international e-conference, I'm here to present vote of thanks. I consider it a great privilege to propose a vote of thanks to all the dignitaries who have witnessed it as a memorable and successful event. Uh, Miss Jessica Johnstone, Perth, Western Australia, our first thank you for your excellent address on innovative strategy for e-commerce. Uh, I express my deep gratitude to our respected principal, Dr. M. Bedkar sir, for guiding to us in all our activities. Ensure that we always do the right things in the right way. I would like to thank beloved head of the department and convener Dr. Wagmare sir and co-convener Dr. Chaudhary sir and Dr. Huche sir. I am happy to express vote of thanks to our the session chair Dr. Shalu Mahajan, Delhi University, Dr. Radhika ma'am, University of Mumbai, then Dr. Pratibha ma'am, and Dr. Jaya Renuha ma'am. And also thanks to all the other participants who have joined patiently. Then specially thanks to Dr. P.P. Karad sir for this valuable contribution in this successful of this conference. And finally, the wonderful students who have turned up in the such a great numbers, not only from our department but also from other department of the college. We thank you so much for your cooperations. With kind
Sir, thanks to Dr. Swanand Shukla sir because they have asked the questions, Dr. Baduddin Ahmed sir, Mahajan madam, and all those who were willing to join here to ask the question, but because of the time limit, we have stopped here. I am very thankful to Jessica madam. Are you satisfied with this event, madam? Unmute.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm sorry if it's, hearing me clearly is not very good, but thank you. It's been an honour to speak. And Dr. Shallow, your translation skills and listening skills are. Thank you. Dr. Becker, thank you for inviting me, and thank you for the opportunity to explain it, especially to so many people in India as well. And this is where I believe that innovation is going to be a massive part, not the whole part, but a huge resource. So thank you for allowing me to speak.
And after curing of your throat, you have to join here. Yes, we invite you again. We again want to listen you, learn from you. Okay, it's invitation from all of us to you in future.
Well, I'm very, very grateful. and I learn more off of you all than you can learn off me. So thank you.
Pratibha madam, Radhika madam, we express thanks,
Thank you,
Shalu
sir.
madam,
Thank you,
and
sir.
all the
Thank you,
participants,
sir.
because
Thank you, Jessica, ma'am.
because of you only
It was wonderful to hear.
we
Thank you.
successfully conduct this event. Can you make your camera on so that I can take a screenshot? Pratibha madam, Shalu madam. Thank you. Thank you to all.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's nice.
Thank you, Vedka sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Please fill up the link. Okay, you can leave
Sir,
and
no.
take rest, madam. Okay, now event is over. Okay.
Thank you, Vedka sir.